Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me in this live section. So guys, please, if you're new to this channel, do well to hit that subscribe button, like and share this video guys, and stay with me in this live section as I have a lot of things to, tell you guys. So guys, is it not sad to say that many people are dying? Nigeria is bleeding. There is war, people are dying, blood is flowing in the land, but why the nation burns? What are our so-called leaders doing, guys? They are busy forming coalitions for 2027. They are busy forming coalition for 2027, strategizing for power while ordinary citizens cry for justice, peace, and survival. Is it not sad to tell you that our government doesn't regard the lives of citizens in this country? They don't value people's life. All they care is for their political ambitions. There is war, Nigeria is bleeding, people are dying, blood is flowing in the land, but why the nation burns? Our so-called leaders are busy forming coalitions for 2027, strategizing power while ordinary citizens cry for justice, peace, and survival. We're going to take dives in today's live section. We're going to look at some certain things in today's live section. Nigeria is in chaos. Let me let you know. Goni yesterday, River State, Fulani men herders attacked, destroyed people's farm, killed people. Where is Wike? Where is Wike? Oh, Wike will not come out and help or talk about it, because Wike has been this kind of person that he doesn't want to take his eyes over all these or anything happening in River State. Now you will always see him in political talks in River State because of his personal gain, but when it comes to attack, he will disappear. Asari Dukubo, where is he when when Fulani headsmen attacked Ogoni? They disappeared. Wike disappeared. But when it comes to political talks that is going to favor him for his personal gains, you will see Wike coming out to talk. None of them, they were helpless in what happened in Ogoni yesterday. But when it comes to all these things, you will see even Tinubu, what's it called, when they had when Wike and Fubara were quarreling, Tinubu had to declare state of emergency in River State. Now, what happened? What is happening in River State now? They should, Tinubu should also declare state of emergency. Look at what happened in Ogoni. Do you know how many people these headsmen killed in Ogoni? It is so appalling that, things are happening like this. Bad guys, people are dying. Nigeria is bleeding. There is war. People are dying every day. Blood is flowing in the land. But our leaders, are busy forming coalitions for 2027. Why not fix 2025 first? Why not? Okay, the people that claim that they're forming a coalition so that our votes will count, so that they'll put in right leaders. The people are dying. Who is now going to vote for you guys in 2027? 2025 is not over. 2026 is not over. There are still months remaining before the election. So why are they in a hurry? Do you want these Fulani guys to buy everyone before the election? Does it make sense? Why don't you fix the matters at ground in 2027? People are dying of hunger. People are, dying of insecurity. And then all you're talking about is 2027 election. The coalition this, coalition that. What's the need of this coalition when the same betrayers are also members or are also involved in this coalition? What's the need? You guys remember what happened in 2015? The same people that formed APC, the same coalition that formed APC, it's not the same APC that have failed us today. And these same APC members are also in this ADC, this recent coalition. So what is the need? What's the need? Nigeria should do the needful and leave all this coalition this. The truth is that the only person that can restore peace in this country is Nnamdi Kanu. Nigeria should just divide. Forget this coalition, Nigeria should divide. That's the only thing. Nigeria should let everybody be on their own. We are tired of presidents in this country. We are tired. The same coalition. Atiku was also among the people that formed the coalition that, they have formed the APC. APC is not the political party that has failed us today. It doesn't care about the people. So you can see what is happening. Across the country, insecurity is rising. In Zamfara alone, in Kaduna, in Benue, in Plateau, in Kwara, terrorists are attacking at their will. At will. In the southeast, the military occupies peaceful community while ignoring real threats. Kidnappings, killing, herdsmen attack. These are now daily news headline. Like I said, there's no day that will pass that you will not hear this Fulani or herdsmen attacking one community or the other. There's no day that will pass that you will not hear that kind of news. It has become a daily news headline. Every day people die. You think it's a joke? Because it has not happened in your community. These people are really destroying people's homes. Do you know how many people that die every time? If they keep killing people like this, do you think there'll be anybody in this country to vote for you guys? Is coalition the most important thing now? People are dying and you guys are forming coalition for 2027. 2025 is not yet over. 2026 is not yet over. And they are planning for something ahead when Nigerians are dying. This is the wrong thing to do. Stop the coalition and then focus on the main problem of Nigeria in 2025. Fix 2025 first before the coalition. People can no longer sleep with their eyes closed. People can no longer sleep with their eyes closed. Markets are empty. Schools are shut down. Farmers have abandoned their lands. But ask the politicians what they are doing. What are they doing? Look at the number of senators sitting in the House of Rep. Look at the number of ministers. None of them are of any use to Nigeria. All of them are useless, as a matter of fact, because they cannot be there. And these common headers are attacking community, wants to destroy everybody in this country. Do you know how many people that die every day? Thousands. These people attack different community on a daily basis. But we have the military, we have security agents, we have Navy, we have Air Force, we have the police, we have the IGP, we have the Chief of Defense Staff, we have the president, we have senators, we have ministers. But then none of them can do anything to stop the killings in Nigeria. All they are concerned in is the 2027 election. That's all they are concerned with. People can no longer sleep with their eyes closed. Even in your own home, you don't even have rest. You don't have peace of mind because these bad guys can come and, buy you at the spot, gun you down at the spot, burn you down alive. What are the politicians doing? What are they doing? Why children are dying of hunger in IDP camps? Politicians from parties like ADC are busy doing press conference and forming coalitions for the 2027 election. Can you imagine, guys? See what Nigerian politicians are doing. Go to IDP camp in Edo State. Look at thousands of children, thousands of youth that are there, dying of hunger. Orphans. Because of these bad guys have fired their parents, they don't even have parents again. Orphans. They're dying of hunger. It's now normal. It is now mere civilians, mere citizens that are going to feed them. The president has not even gone to visit them. It was Peter Obi that was the only one I've seen. I don't know if anyone have gone to visit, but Peter Obi was the only one I've seen that went to IDP camp in Edo State to visit them, to feed them. But look at all this thing is happening. Children are dying of hunger in IDP camp. Politicians from parties like ADC are busy doing press conference and forming coalitions for the 2027 election. This is bad. They're not talking about how to rescue hostage. They're not talking about how to stop the killings. They're not addressing the injustice of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's illegal detention. Most importantly, they are not even addressing the injustice of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's illegal detention. They are planning how to grab power. This is this not wickedness? Is this not betrayal? What kind of country is this? What kind of country forgets its dying people and instead focuses on who will become president next? Which country does this, please? Look at what happened in Ogoni. I'll play a video for you guys. You know, BK disappeared. All of them disappeared when headers came and attacked. None of them talked about it. Tinubu is silent. But when it comes to quarrel between one politician and Wike and Fobara, he will declare state of emergency in Rivers State. Is it worth it? Is it worth it? When it comes to insecurity matter, you're supposed to, act. You won't act. When these Fulanis are killing people in Rivers State, they will not talk. Look at what happened in Ogoni. Look at how, the people of Ogoni of Rivers State confronted police and then, declared war with Fulani guys. Take a look.
What happened to people? Why can't you arrest those that are killing our people? Why is it that ever since Ogonis has been killed, nobody, police have not made any arrest. There has been no arrest. Nobody has been arrested. We should go on dialogue with our killers, and we should go engage our killers. Why the people that killed us are living peacefully? And you know to go and engage. Sir, at this point, you are not being realistic.
I won't say more than that. I will deliver their message to the Commissioner of Police. But my SU want to chip in one or two words too.
A call for justice and protection of Ogoniland. We, all the concerned citizens of Ogoniland, are compelled to raise our voice against the growing wave of violence and insecurity perpetrated by Fulani herdsmen within our communities. The recent attack in Yokuru, Ebubu, Sogo, Weke, which have resulted in the tragic loss of our innocent lives, have pushed our collective patience to its limits. This act of aggression is unacceptable or are unacceptable. We have endured enough. Immediately, we demand the immediate, unconditional departure of all Fulani herdsmen from Ogoniland. Yes, that continued presence pose a grave threat to the peace and security of our people. Yeah. Should this be ignored? Repeat. Should this be ignored? No. And I repeat again. Should this be ignored? No. We will be left with no choice. We will be left with no option but to defend ourselves. Yes. It will be clearly stated. Any further attack on the lives of the Ogoni people will no longer be reported to the Nigerian police and the security agencies. Yes. The people of Ogoni will resort to self-help and self-defense. Yes.
It's not like the CP is avoiding you. He feels your pains. You understand? But the issue is that CP has been making frantic effort to make sure that all these problems are nipped on the bud. One, there are these herdsmen, farmers, and stakeholders town hall meeting going on in Okehi, Andoni, Axis, and so many other local governments. They are going around local government by local government. And they do this in conjunction with various sole administrators of those particular LGAs. So these are steps CP has taken in resolving some of these crises. Perhaps they might not have reached around the Ogoni axis. But if not for the fact that the area commander is now on leave, Area Commander Buri, maybe you people wouldn't have been here. He would have addressed this issue. And we are making all effort to ensure that we arrest these perpetrators. Today, there is operation going in at Agbonchia Forest. As I am talking to you, this operation is still against the killers in Rivers State.
So guys, you saw what happened, how they were protesting, listening to what that man said, truly that man, they have been pushed. The people of Ogoni, they have been pushed to the wall. This is too much. Enough is enough of all of what these Fulani people are doing in Rivers State and even in other parts of Nigeria. Imagine all this thing is happening and then our politicians are forming coalition for 2027 election. 2025 is not yet over. We have not even seen 2026. They're already forming coalition. When people are dying, go to IDP camp and see orphans. They turned to orphan because these bad guys spied their parents. Not even the president has gone to visit them. So not even the president has gone to visit them. Orphans in Edo, go and see thousands of people in Edo State, IDP camp in Edo State. Children dying of hunger, starving. Not even the president, not even, it's only Peter Obi that is the only person I've seen that have gone there to visit them, to feed them. All this thing is happening, and the only thing our politicians is doing is to form coalition for 2027. Why not fix 2025 first? If these foreign guys keep killing people like this, do you think there'll be anybody that will vote for you guys? Do you think you will see this? Don't you know that the people are the main people? The people are just, these people don't know what's democracy. They don't know what's democracy. Without the people, who are they going to lead? Do you know how many people that die every day? Do you know how many lives do you know how many people that die every day? Hey, even unborn children, because of this, there is no day. See, insecurity has become a daily news trend, daily news headline every time. They're not even talking about the illegal or addressing the injustice of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's illegal detention. No, they're only concerned in 2027 election. What kind of country? Forget its dying people and instead focus on who will become the next president. Who? Which country? The political classes keeps lying to the people with promises they don't intend to keep. The political class keep lying to the people with promises they can never keep. They know that they will never keep the promise. Just like Tinubu that promised heaven and earth. What is happening now? The worst president in the world. Now, they said things will get better, but lives only gets harder. They say things will get better, but unfortunately, lives only get harder. They talk about unity, but they promote division. Now, one international voice even warned Nigeria will not exist by 2030 if things continues this way. Nigeria will not exist. One international voice warned that Nigeria as a country would not exist by 2030 if things continues this way. That's not a prophecy. That's a warning backed by reality. No country survives this level of injustice, oppression, and political greed. No country. Where is the justice? Where's the justice of victims in Benue? For Christians butchered in Plateau, for villagers displaced in Kwara, for the Southeast youth killed without trial, for Nnamdi Kanu abducted from Kenya against international law. Meanwhile, people like these are happening. Nigerians must rise. Oh, this is not about tribe or religion. This is about survival. If you're planning for 2027, ask yourself, would there be a Nigeria by then? Would there be anything called Nigeria by then? Would there be a country like Nigeria by then? You're planning for 2027 while people are dying. You're planning for 2027. Ask yourself this question. This politician should ask themselves this question. Would there be anything called Nigeria by then? What's the point of election when there is no country left to govern? What's the point? That's what these people don't know. What's the point of elections when there is no country left to govern? What's the point of coalition if the people you want to govern are already dead or displaced? What's the point? Stop this coalition nonsense and end the killings in Nigeria first. end the problems at ground in 2025. What is all this nonsense happening in Nigeria? What kind of nonsense is this? An international voice warned, guys, an international voice warned that Nigeria will not exist by 2030 if things continues this way. You might feel this is not a prophecy. This is a warning backed by reality. Look at what is happening. Do you know that, okay, we're talking about the Lewata attack. Over 200 or more than were killed by these bad guys. Another one happened. It happens every day. Hundreds of people die every day. You think it's a joke? This international person that said that Nigeria will not exist in 2030 if Nigeria continues this way, if it continues this way. What kind of nonsense is this? Politicians are forming coalition for 2027 when people are dying. Will Nigeria exist by then? Let's ask ourselves this question. Will Nigeria exist? Will there be any country called Nigeria by then? Hey, they think this is a joke. Until all the people in this country are wiped away, then their eyes will open. Nigeria must rise, like I said. Nigeria must rise. What's the point of election when there is no country left to govern? What's the point of coalition if the people wants to govern are already dead or displaced? What's the point? Nigeria should wake up. Let's hold these leaders accountable. Let's not allow these same politicians to use every 4 years. Don't let these politicians to use us every 4 years while we bury our loved ones in between. Enough is enough to this nonsense in Nigeria. And then it's like these people don't see. These people think that they can be using us. These politicians, they think they can be using us every 4 years. What about the 2015 coalition? What about it? A history lesson they don't want you to remember. Let's go back to 2015. Do you remember the coalition that gave birth to President Muhammadu Buhari? APC's government. Hey, my God. Did you remember the coalition of 2015 that gave birth to Buhari? APC government. Let me remind you if you don't know. ACN, that's African Congress of Nigeria from the Southwest. CPC, Congress for Progressive Change from the North. ANPP, All Nigeria People's Party, a faction of APGA, and even some PDP rebels under NPDP. They all came together to form APC, the current ruling party that has only caused pain, mourning, death, hunger. They all came together to form APC and they promised change. But what happened after they took power? Instead of change, we got hardship. Instead of fighting corruption, they weaponized it against their enemies. Instead of uniting Nigeria, they divided us even more. North versus South, Christian versus Muslim, Igbos versus Fulani. They gave us pain, poverty, and mass killings. They promised to end Boko Haram in 6 months. But 9 years later, terrorists are stronger, richer, and more brutal. So now, these same recycled politicians are shouting again. Let's form a new coalition for 2027. Hey, Chineke. Coalition for what, please? To continue where the last disaster stopped? To loot the country dry again? To silence voices like Mazen Nnamdi Kanu? To pretend to fight for the people but really fighting for positions? My people, don't be deceived again. Don't be deceived again. In 2015, politicians from different parties came together to deceive Nigerians with sweet promises. The coalition brought APC to power. But since then, Nigeria has suffered more than ever before now in 2025. Nigeria has suffered more than ever before now in 2025. They want to do it again. Another coalition for 2027. Same lie, new packaging. Same lie, new packaging. Don't believe what these people are saying. Run away. Run away. They want to distract Nigerians with what is happening. In 2025, Atiku Abubakar who was part of the coalition that formed the All Progressive Congress, clearly listed the acknowledged, clearly listed clearly listed and acknowledged the major political groups and individuals that merged to unseat President Goodluck Jonathan. Let me repeat myself. Atiku Abubakar in 2015, he was part of the coalition that formed All Progressive Congress, clearly listed and acknowledged the major political groups and individuals that merged to unseat President Goodluck Jonathan. Congress for Progressive Change, that's CPC, founded by Muhammadu Buhari, represented northern conservative interests. This major goal was to return Buhari to power as a civilian president. Action Congress of Nigeria, led by Bola Ahmed Tinubu, dominated the southeast, the Yoruba state. They brought strong political structure, media influence, and money power. All Nigerian People Party, a party with northern and Islamic support, especially in Borno, Yobe, Kano, and part of Kaduna. It had lost steam but contributed governors and grassroots structure. A fraction of All Progressive Grand Alliance, notably Rochas Okorocha, then he was Imo State governor, defected to join the coalition. This gave APC some presence in the southeast through marginal. New PDP, a rebel group from the PDP, led by governors like Rotimi Amechi, Rabiu Kwankwaso, Aliyu Wamako, Murtala Nyako, and others, alongside prominent defectors like Atiku Abubakar, Bukola Sariki, and Aminu Dambuwa. They were PDP insiders who revolted against Jonathan's leadership and switched allegiance to join APC. You can see that Atiku mentioned some political parties who, collaborated to unseat Goodluck Jonathan to join APC, guys. All these people that were in support of, look at, even Rotimi Amechi was in support of APC. Atiku, these people joined. They were PDP insiders, even who were against Jonathan's leadership, and switched to APC. Atiku was among the very first top PDP leaders to leave and join forces with Tinubu and Buhari. Atiku was the very top PDP leaders to leave and join forces with Tinubu and Buhari. He publicly said that, the APC was a merge of progressive who had put aside their personal ambition for the sake of national salvation. He boasted that the coalition was the most powerful in Nigeria's history because it combined experience, grassroots power, regional influence, and money. But in hindsight, that coalition only succeeded in taking power, not solving Nigeria's problem. Hope you guys know that. It's happening now. Now, in 2025, the same names who deceived Nigerians with change in 2015 are back. Full ground. The same lies, new packaging. Article 1, Amechi, and others. Forming new coalition for 2027, but no integrity, no ideology, and no shame. People that collaborated to give birth to Tinubu, what's his name? To Buhari and APC. And then they're the one now coming to form the 2027 coalition. And P2B has said that he's not interested in a coalition, although he's part. But he said what he's interested is in the change of Nigeria, that Nigeria will change. In 2015, Atiku and his political friends joined forces with Buhari, Tinubu, and others to form a gang of parties called APC, They said they wanted to rescue Nigeria. But after they entered power, things became worse. Now in 2025, they are planning another gang up. Same face, same lie, different year. That is just it. That is what is happening now. The 2015 coalition was built on power hunger, not patriotism. The coalition was never truly about rescuing Nigerians. It was about defecting Goodluck Jonathan and grabbing power, nothing more. Once they won, the alliance collapsed into infighting, betrayal, and ethnic dominance, especially under Buhari's northern-focused leadership. The Southeast was used and then dumped. Figures like Rocha Sokorocha joined APC, thinking the Southeast would have a seat at the table. But after victory, the region was completely sidelined. No major appointment, no justice, and no respect. The betrayal of the East after 2015 is what deepened the Biafra agitation and the emergence of strong IPOB resistance. Rochas had to join to see if Igbos will have position, but for where they were betrayed, and that was what deepened Biafra's agitation and the emergence of strong IPOB resistance. Nigeria got suffering instead of change. APC promised security, they promised job, they promised end to corruption, they promised stable electricity, they promised ₦1 to $1, but they delivered fuel scarcity, naira free fall, hunger, bloodshed, banditry, and Boko Haram expansion, mass poverty. The same people now are talking about rescuing Nigeria again in 2027. We're part of this, we're part of this deception. The same people that formed the APC, that has caused false scarcity, naira fuel for hunger, bloodshed, Boko Haram, and banditry expansion, mass poverty, are the same people now that are talking about the rescuing Nigeria again in 2027. It will not work. Now, lie. The only thing they should do now is to be talking about, to rescue Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We don't need a president again. We need a leader. We don't need a president in this country again. Atiku and Tinubu are now opponents, but they were partners in 2015. Don't be fooled by their current media fight, though. In 2015, Tinubu, Atiku, Buhari, Amechi, Sariki, and others were one team. They formed the coalition that misled Nigerians. Now they are only fighting over who gets to wear the crown in 2027, not over your welfare. Don't be deceived. Don't be deceived. The 2025 coalition strengthened terrorism instead of crushing it. They promised an end to Boko Haram in 6 months. Instead, bandits emerged, ISWAP emerged, Fulani Hetman became emboldened, the military became demoralized, the North became more dangerous than ever before. If that 2015 coalition brought such destruction, what will another selfish coalition do in 2027? Tell me, guys. The same faces are recycling themselves. Look around. The people planning coalition today are Atiku, Tinubu's allies, which are the APC. LP members indirectly being courted. Sariki, Tambuwa, Wike, Amechi, all former PDP and APC members. They are the same old politicians. They are the same old political classes wearing new clothes. They are not looking for solution, they are looking for power. Nobody from the 2015 coalition has apologized to Nigeria. The one has said we failed you instead. They are still blaming Jonathan. They act like the last 9 years didn't happen under their watch. How can the same people who damaged Nigeria fix Nigeria? How can? They're ignoring the real issues of 2025. While they are busy forming alliance for 2027, Nigeria is collapsing. Nnamdi Kanu is still being detained illegally. Terrorists are killing villagers in Kwara and Benue states. The economy is dead. Youths are fleeing the country. Fuel is now 1,000 naira plus. Electricity is luxury. People are dying of hunger. Yes, they are saying, let's prepare for 2027. For what? A mass burial or another round of looting? These people are very, very funny. These so-called coalition are just backdoor arrangements. Who will get ministerial slots? Who will control CBN? Who will be Senate president? That's what they want. Who will get impunity from prosecution? It's not about Nigerians, it's about their personal deals. They don't care about people. It's about their personal deals. Youth are being fooled again in 2020. In 2015, they used the youth to chant, to chant. In 2023, they used the youth to chant. In 2027 now, they are looking for another slogan to sell empty dreams. Don't fall for it again. Don't campaign for the people who made you poor. Don't. These people are just there to deceive you. They are just there to deceive you. They should release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Tinubu that has caused pain. Take a look.
Yeah. Tinubu, go call Tinubu, make him call and send that.
Go call Tinubu.
Call her now.
Say no, come out for farm.
Where do you, there you go see. I don't go come out for farm.
So you can see that, they said, they're not even scared. Call Tinubu. They're not scared of Tinubu. For them to be saying call Tinubu, Fulani and another person's man destroying their farm, and the farmer is complaining, you're saying go and call Tinubu, because they don't even care. They're not even fearing Tinubu at this point. You can see what is happening in Nigeria. In case you not watch the video of this, what happened in Ogoni, how people confronted policemen to declare war over Fulani. Take a look.
What happened to people? Why can't you arrest those that are killing our people? Why is it that ever since Ogolis has been killed, nobody, police have not made any arrest. There has been no arrest, nobody has been arrested. We should go on dialogue with our killers, and we should go engage our killers. Why the people that killed us are living peacefully? And you know to go and engage. Sir, at this point, you are not being realistic.
I won't say more than that. I will deliver their message to the Commissioner of Police. But my SU want to chip in 1 or 2 words too.
A call for justice and protection of Ogoniland. We, the concerned citizens of Ogoniland, are compelled to raise our voice against the growing wave of violence and insecurity perpetrated by Fulani herdsmen within our communities. The recent attack in Yokuru, Ebubu, Sogo, Weke, which have resulted in the tragic loss of our innocent lives, have pushed our collective patience to its limits. This act of aggression is unacceptable or are unacceptable. We have endured enough. Immediately, we demand the immediate, unconditional departure of all Fulani herdsmen from Ogoniland. Yes, that continual presence pose a grave threat to the peace and security of our people. Yeah. Should this be ignored? Repeat. Should this be ignored? No. And I repeat again. Should this be ignored? No. We will be left with no choice. We will be left with no option but to defend ourselves. Yes. It will be clearly stated. Any further attack on the lands of the Ogoni people will no longer be reported to the Nigerian police and the security agencies. Yes. The people of Ogoni will resort to self-help and self-defense. Yes.
It's not like the CP is avoiding you. He feels your pains. You understand? But the issue is that CP has been making frantic effort to make sure that all these problems are nipped on the bud. One, there are these herdsmen, farmers, and stakeholders town hall meeting going on in Okehi, Andoni, Axis, and so many other local governments. They are going around local government by local government. And they do this in conjunction with various sole administrators of those particular LGAs. So these are steps CP has taken in resolving some of these crises. Perhaps they might not have reached around the Ogoni axis. But if not for the fact that the area commander is now on leave, Area Commander Buri, maybe you people wouldn't have been here. He would have addressed this issue. And we are making all effort to ensure that we arrest these perpetrators. Today, there is operation going in at Agbonchia Forest. As I am talking to you, this operation is still against the killers in River State.
So, guys, you can see what is happening, and our leaders are busy, you know, busy planning for our leaders are busy planning for 2027 election when in 2025 people are dying. You don't talk about 2027 election when people are being buried in 2025. Every day, Nigerians wake up to news of mass killing. Fulani herdsmen slaughter farmers in Benue, Plateau State, bandits raid Kwara, Niger, and Zamfara State. Boko Haram adopt women and children in the northeast. The southeast is under military siege. Yet politicians are on TV smiling and forming coalition for 2027. Is that not madness? Is that not madness? If people cannot travel, people cannot farm, people cannot protest, people cannot sleep in their homes, then how would they vote in peace in 2027? How? In a sane country, elections would be suspended until the basic in a sane country, election will be suspended until the basic right to life is guaranteed. In a country that knows what they are doing, election will be suspended until the basic right to life is guaranteed. But in Nigeria, politicians ignore that. They only count votes, not corpse. Imagine your house is on fire, your children are screaming, your wife is trapped inside, but instead of putting out the fire, you call a meeting to discuss how to repaint the house in 2 years. Oh my God. That is exactly what these people are doing. Coalition for 2027 is like building a house while the roof is on fire. Imagine your house is on fire. For example, now your children are screaming, your wife is trapped inside, but instead of putting out the fire, you're calling a meeting to discuss how to repaint the house in 2 years. That's exactly what these politicians are doing. Nigeria is burning, but they are discussing 2027 alliance. Nnamdi Kanu is still in DSS custody despite court orders. Boko Haram commanders are being freed, while victims get mass graves. Governors steal state funds and get impunity. Children die in IDP camps daily, but people cannot afford fuel and food. So what's the purpose of 2027 election? To renew licenses for wickedness? Countries like France, UK, Israel, whenever there's a serious national crisis like war, terror, or pandemic, election campaigns are suspended. Government focus fully on rescue, recovery, and justice. But in Nigeria, terrorist attack, cost of living is unbearable. Youths are fleeing the country, yet politicians are forming major groups, printing posters and sharing position. Do you know that I even saw a video of, they were packaging plantain chips with Tinubu's picture there for 2027, for campaign for 2027. They have already started their campaign. Now, it shows they don't care if you die as long as they win. Let's tell the truth. This coalition shows one thing. This political class doesn't care about your life, whether you die from hunger, kidnapping, stray bullets, or police brutality. It doesn't move them. All they care about is who becomes the next president, next governor, next senator, not who dies in Aba, in Zamfara or in Zamfara. They don't care. Elections mean nothing when there is no nation left. No water, no electricity, no economy, no quality education, no safety, no voice. So what does election mean in that kind of environment? Before you can vote, you must survive. Is it not true? Before you can run for office, there must be a country left. Security agents themselves have said it. We don't have weapons. They are outnumbered. We are dying in silence. When those meant to protect the country are helpless, it's not time for campaign slogans. It's not time for a national emergency. It's not time for political festivals. The blood of innocent women, Children and fathers across Nigeria is crying for justice, but those in Abuja state houses are talking about zoning, party flags, and running mates. Is it not the height of heartlessness? Is this not wickedness? At least if their coalition doesn't begin with, one, if their coalition doesn't begin with one, release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, end terrorist killings, security for farmers and traders, justice for mass murder victims, mass burial probes, then that coalition is just a scam to grab power, not save lives. How can you plan election when people are dying every day? Who will vote? Is it the dead? How can you plan election when people are dying every day? So who will vote? Is it the dead that come and vote? They should suspend every political plan until this country is safe and just. Nigeria is not a normal country right now. So why Nigeria is not a normal country? So why are politicians behaving like everything is normal? Nigeria is not normal. Why are they behaving like everything is not normal? APC, PDP, LP, ADC, and SDP, they all act like enemies in public, but once it's time for election, they start calling each other brother, comrade, and partner. Not because of the poor masses, but because of who gets what seats. These coalitions are not for peace, they're not for justice, but for power sharing. If Nigeria were a hospital, if Nigeria were a hospital patient, it would be in ICU. Nigeria right now is, on life support, barely breathing, surrounded by corruption, tribalism, and poverty. Yet politicians are not calling for emergency surgery. They're calling for campaigns. 27 campaign. What kind of family starts dividing inheritance when their father is still dying in hospital? When bandits kill, let's talk about this. Have we noticed that when bandits kill 100 people, they say nothing? Have you noticed? When a whole village is wiped out, they move on. But when one politician die, they shut down government for 3 days. This proves they value themselves, not the lives of ordinary Nigerians. If they truly care, let them form a coalition for national peace and security, a coalition to investigate mass killing, rebuild destroyed communities, pay compensation to victims, hold military and herdsmen accountable. But no, they only come together when it's time to share position. That's when you start hearing we are brothers, we are sisters, we are this. During election, they promise free education, they give you rice and salt. They kneel before monarchs, they cry with widows. After election, they disappear into private jets. They build mansion in Dubai. They forget your name. And your children are killed by terrorists with no justice. You can't talk of 2027 when the minimum wage is 70,000 naira, but cannot even buy food. The minimum wage is 17,000 naira, but food is 200,000 naira, even more than it. Naira is near to 2,000 naira per dollar. Youths are being trafficked abroad daily. Hospitals have no drug. Farmers are being butchered. That's an emergency, not a time for politics. This is not democracy, it's electionocracy. Nigeria is not practicing democracy at all. We are practicing electionocracy. Government of election by election for election. Government for election or government of election by election for election. No real governance, just election every 4 years and suffering in between. They never form coalition to fight injustice in the southeast. No coalition to demand Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. No coalition to investigate the killings in Enugu, Imo, and Ebonyi State. No coalition to end python dance or illegal detention. But when it's time to plan for 2027, they remember Southeast, not to help but to beg for votes. Even during war, you don't hold election. In serious countries, during genocide, elections are postponed. During mass displacement, elections are cancelled. During terrorist occupation, leaders enter emergency mood. But Nigeria is pretending everything is fine. Why people die, starve, and flee. So guys, you can see what's happening in Nigeria. So there's no need of the coalition. Doesn't make sense. They should talk about how to release Mass Kano and end the killings in Nigeria. So guys, we've got to the end of this live session. Do well to hit that subscribe button, like and share, so drop a comment below. Let's know what you're saying. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.